Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's English lesson. This is your English teacher, Luis Miranda, and today I'm going to teach you how to pronounce the ed ending verbs in English. I will give you all the rules for you to know when to use each of the three different sounds that these verbs have. But first, I'm going to start by telling you the three sounds that these verbs could have. The first sound is an id sound. For example, like in the word wanted. The second sound that these verbs can have is the d sound. For example, in the word cleaned. And the third sound that these verbs can have is the t sound. Like, for example, in the word helped. All right, so these are the three sounds that these words have. Now, let's go ahead and start with the rules. For the first sound, which is the id sound, the rule is very simple. If you have a letter T or a letter D before the ed, that means that you have to produce the id sound. For example, in the word wanted, or in the word needed. You see, we have a T in wanted and a D in needed. All right, so this is the first sound, the id sound. Let's move on to the second sound, which is the D sound. And the rule is also very simple. If the letter that you have before the ed is a voiced letter, that means that the sound is the sound of a D. Now, you might be wondering, what is a voiced letter? Well, it's very simple. If the sound of the letter before the ed produces a vibration in your vocal cords, then we can call that a voiced letter. For example, in the verb loved. If you pause in the sound of the letter before the ed, you're going to feel a vibration in your vocal cords, in your throat. Practice with me. Loved. Another tip that I can give you is, if you can prolong the sound of that letter, it probably is a voiced letter. Loved. Or, for example, cleaned. You feel a vibration with the end sound. Cleaned. Loved. All right, so all of these letters that produce a vibration in your vocal cords are called voiced letters. And if you have an ed ending verb with one of these letters, you have to produce the D sound. All right, so the third and final sound that we have for these ed ending verbs is the T sound, the T sound. And you're going to produce this sound when the letter before the ed is a voiceless letter. That means that it doesn't produce a vibration in your vocal cords. For example, helped. You see, the P before the ed does not make your vocal cords vibrate. Therefore, it doesn't have a voice. So you have to produce the T sound. Helped. Or, for example, cooked. The K doesn't have a voice in this case, so it doesn't produce a vibration. Therefore, you have to produce the T sound. All right, so these are three simple rules for you to produce the three different sounds for ed ending verbs. I hope this class was good for you. Feel free to go back as many times as you need to and practice a lot. I'll see you next time. This is your English teacher, Luis Miranda. Goodbye.